to the week 20 review of the franchise baseball league. Dynasty League. It was very anticlimactic.
Well, I will start the video off by doing something for you, which you didn't have the decency to do for me last week, and I will congratulate you on officially clinching a playoff spot.
Oh, thank you.
You are the second team to do it. Congratulations. And it looks like you've also clinched the 2 seed. Barring some
I don't think
huge...
I don't think it's that.
Because it's obvious Globo Jim's trying to rig his matchups again, so, I mean, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
But yes, continue.
Yeah.
Anticlimactic.
Yeah, not a lot going on. I mean, I clinched the number 2 seed pretty much. But, I mean, I guess that's an accomplishment. Actually, making the playoffs isn't an accomplishment. That's why I didn't say anything last week, because that doesn't matter, apparently, in this league. Nobody cares about the playoffs. I mean, you can ask Ben's Champions if that's an accomplishment. He'll say no. You could ask Pine Tree Lane if that's an accomplishment, and obviously it's not, because he's not even trying to make the playoffs. I don't even know why he's in this league.
Ouch.
So,
no.
There you go.
My only rebuttal to that is, yes, I agree. You can't win a championship if you don't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
You agree with that?
Yes, I agree.
Do you also agree, though, then, but it's not really saying too much if you make the playoffs, because 6 out of 10 teams make it regardless? That's over half the league.
Right. Yeah,
So,
I would say that's true.
So, I mean, I agree with you. Yes, you need to make the playoffs in order to have a chance.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're just hanging your hat on how many times you make the playoffs, I mean, yes, that's good. I mean, that shows that you've been in the top half of the league every time you make the playoffs, at least. But, I mean, just to say, well, I made the playoffs, and that's kind of a moral victory, well...
Yeah, not that special.
Correct.
But, I mean, if you actually look at the matchups from last week, we had a 7-7 tie.
You made a great comeback. Or...
Well...
Do you want to call it a great comeback, or would you expect any team, when they're playing someone that has a team that goes 3 for 30 to flip the score?
The weekend was completely dreadful for you. It wasn't just a one-day thing. It was a 3-day.
Well, that one day though was the swinger.
Yeah, you were literally 0 for 30 at one point in that day.
Yes,
which is pretty hard to do.
Thank you.
Yeah, but
and I still didn't lose.
I know that's.
But hey, I'm slumping. Yeah. I'm slumping.
Yeah.
Fun stat for you, bench champions. Why don't you look at my roster when I've had every single person healthy? I know you're going to say, well, that's impossible to do something like that. You shouldn't look at it. But look at when I've actually had my 28-man roster healthy and count how many times I've lost. I'll wait for you to get back to me on that, bench champions.
Was the correct answer 1? No. Did you have someone hurt at the beginning of the year?
Yeah, Madison Bumgarner.
No. So I beat you the second week of the season.
Correct. He got hurt in the first week.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
He had some starts. He didn't get hurt in the first week.
He pitched twice in the first week, and then he had a motorcycle accident.
So he didn't pitch at all in that second matchup we had. I don't believe you. See, look, he even has a smile on his face because he's wrong. He was completely healthy, and I beat him in the second week, even if it was only 9-8. And then this last matchup that we had, I didn't really care to even do anything because...
You didn't care?
I didn't, because Globo Jim was just not showing up, so it didn't really matter. So I wasn't going to do all kinds of crazy stuff to my roster, try to get a couple of categories just to win this matchup that didn't mean anything, because Globo Jim wasn't going to catch me because he just... I don't know if it was Ben's Champions having a great week or not, so we can go into that matchup. Ben's Champions with the 12-3 win over Globo.
That's a big win for bench champions.
Yeah.
But like I said, without looking at the actual, stats, the final outcome, I just felt like Globo Jim wasn't doing anything all week. I mean, I'm pretty sure he had one day where he only had 7 guys playing. Now, a couple of those guys didn't play, but why only have 2 bench hitters?
I don't know. You would think that would have been more important, but he acted like it wasn't that crucial for him, so... Oh. And then the other matchup that was of interest was All Rise and Alaska Glaciers with the 8-8 tie. All Rise had to do better that week to put himself in a better position.
Well, yes and no. I mean, I agree. He needed to score more points. But I mean, 8 points is still good, but that still puts him on the cusp of is what is it, 6.5 he needs? Is that too many?
Yeah, and most likely it is. I think in 1 week it's really, really hard unless you're playing that person head to head to make up 6.5.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Another matchup that's sort of interesting to me, anyway. 5 Swords with a 10-5 win over Joe Boo. 5 Swords getting into the win column there. The interesting part of that to me is I wonder if 5 Swords is going to do the same thing that he did last year, where he finished strong and then thought in the off season that he didn't have to do anything. Remember, that's what he kept saying.
There he goes thinking again.
Yeah, well, he was like, "Hey, I've won 4 of the last 6 weeks or whatever he did to finish last year, because he's probably gonna beat me this week because I'm not doing anything, and look, his offense is probably one of the hottest offenses in the league right now. That's just what's happening.
Yeah, but when you can't win pitching categories, I mean, he's teetering on 6, and I've already gotten texts, 5 starting pitchers.
Yeah.
Because of the way that his roster's constructed, so.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's how about Joe Boo? I mean, he's
fading into
the champ. Champ.
Hey, I have 2 words, and I'll tell you why. Right now, you ready? Are you ready for the 2 words of why Joe Boo is fading?
I think volleyball's 1 word.
No, that's not it. We are. Right? That's it. You don't think so?
We are what?
Well, the Penn State would be the answer.
That would be 4 words.
Yeah.
He's sick, by the way.
I'm sick.
Yeah, I'm trying not to get too close to him.
Yeah. But anyway. And then Zips beat Pine Tree 10-7.
Pretty much ended Pine Tree's.
Yeah. But,
for even as close as he still is.
Yeah. So
nothing really exciting.
I know it's kind of not a lot going on.
It was very sad. I mean, I was very disappointed with the results. I mean, we're sitting now with, people in the text thread are saying, "Oh no, it's still close." No, it's not.
Not at all.
You've got All Rise and Pine Tree Lane are 5-6 games of the back of the 6 seed. And they're 9 games back of the 5 seed. So
Pine Tree Lane's only 4.5. If he actually cares.
He's not trying though. So why do we count him?
I don't know.
I've never seen a guy so close to making the playoffs. And he even has guys coming off the DL soon.
Kershaw.
Turner.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know.
It just blows my mind. And I don't know what Globo's doing. I thought he was trying to make a run at the 2 seed, and I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, would you say Ben's Champions is the biggest riser at the moment? I mean,
well, yeah, but just like I said, if you look at he's 1-3 with a tie in the last 5 weeks. Yeah, he just blew out Globo, but that was literally his first win.
That's a big one.
Yeah. I mean, he's had close scores. He's hung around, but...
Are you still standing firm to your Team Joe Boo and Ben's Champions and the 200 transaction limit before the end of the actual last day?
No. I don't even think it's going to matter. I don't think... I mean, I think what Joe Boo's going to do is he's going to keep an eye on it and see what's going on. And if Pine Tree isn't blowing out All Rise, because that's the only way...
Well, but what if All Rise is only a game and a half behind Pine Tree? So,
yeah,
I mean, what if he blows him out?
That's too much. Too many games. It's too many games.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I said in our text thread there is a 2.3% probability of All Rise making the playoffs.
And how did you actually look that up?
I had my guys look it up.
Your guys?
My guys, my stat team.
The ones that
helping.
The stat team you should have fired like at the beginning of week 1 because you always give the wrong stats.
Oh, really? Well, hey, you can say I give all the wrong stats that you want, but who's in second place right now? So they must have done a pretty good job.
There are some people in the text thread who will say, yes, you're in second, but that's only a product of your March and April accomplishments.
Well,
and that if the season started now, you would be towards the bottom.
Well, that's interesting you say that, because let's go to our next category. What's that? What's that say? Go ahead, read that. What's that say?
Stakes.
No, it's streaks.
Oh, streaks. There's an R.
Streaks. Who has the longest unbeaten streak in the league? Go ahead, Go ahead, tell us who it is.
Bear Basher.
That's right, Bear Bashers. 3 weeks I haven't lost.
That's with a tie.
Doesn't matter. Haven't lost in 3 weeks. That is the longest in the entire league. So I don't think that you can sit there and say, oh, well, it's just because he had a big March and April.
Well, there are some
Or April and May. No, nothing happens in March. April and May.
There are some people in the text thread who will say, but you're not blowing people out anymore.
Who is?
Ben's champions.
Yeah,
Oh!
One time!
Oh!
Yeah, well, I do agree there is parity. I don't think that's not a question. But right now, look at the standings. How many games into second place am I over Globo?
I believe it is 13 and a half.
Yeah. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good
Weren't you like 20 something?
yeah, I probably was at one point, but so what? It's down to 13 and a half. It's still that's still a pretty
Right.
decent margin, wouldn't you say?
Yes,
So,
13 and a half is secure. You are secured as a 2 seed.
Yeah.
You get your bye.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get your potential dream matchup
I don't have a dream matchup that's
against
for sure.
Globo Gym.
I don't know. I can't even decide who I want to play. There's pros and cons to everybody. I mean,
It's very interesting. It's a very interesting year as far as team makeup.
yeah.
It's amazing what happens when you let people run their own team. And
It's
kinds of shit.
amazing. Well, I guess what we'll do now is that we'll go into what?
Just because we do the good, we have to do the bad.
Oh yeah, the longest losing streak is Alaska Glaciers.
3 in a row.
3 weeks in a row.
2 losses and a tie in there.
But again, he's probably not trying either at this point. Why would you?
But he's still watching the videos, so thank you to that, Alaska
Oh,
Glaciers.
I appreciate that. Alaska Glaciers. Shout out.
I guess we're running.
Running. All right. Power rankings are next. A very big last regular season power ranking. And now for the power rankings. So exciting. Who do you have as your number 6 team? Ooh, Zips. He has Zips. What? Any words about Zips?
I think the lack of offense. I mean, you want to talk about a team that's fading. His offense is just not doing it, and I think that it's going to cost him this week, and it's going to bump him from the 5 seed to the 6 seed.
Makes sense.
That's my prediction.
I don't like Team Joe Boo's makeup right now. I have him down at the 6. I still think Zips is a little bit more complete, especially in the back of the end of the bullpen. You know.
Right.
So that's why I have Joe Boo at 6.
I have Joe Boo at 5.
Oh.
Just because of the matchups this week. Like I said, I think Joe Boo is still going to get pounded, but I think he's going to take less of a pounding than Zips.
Possible.
Because of the categories of the people he's playing, that he's going to move up.
And I, again, have Zips because, again, I have Zips higher, mainly because of the pitching differential there.
I have Benjamin's champions at 4.
As do I.
As we were just talking before we came back on, that is who I'm anticipating and playing in round 2.
Oh,
Giving a little sneak peek playoff preview video.
wow. Yeah, that is a big... Yep. So then I guess...
You had number 4 as Ben's champions?
I had number 4 as Ben's champions as well. We'll wait to talk more about Ben's champions going into next week because I think that's where it'll be. That's where we'll talk about it. Globo Gym, number 3.
Here's an interesting question for you, for Globo Gym. So we
For
haven't
me or for Globo Gym?
for you about Globo Gym.
Yeah.
So we get comments on the text thread about how we always bash Globo Gym and never give him any love, and we're haters and stuff like that.
I felt like I defended him a lot in the first half of the season.
Well, yes, because you were, standing behind him doing this, but for some reason, just because he was Globo Gym, and now he's... What are your thoughts on from where your thoughts were at the beginning of the season to why they are where they are now?
Well, I actually kind of referenced it in the text thread. That
Well, this is for the people that aren't in the text
That's
thread.
true. That's true. I believe that it's there's certain GMs in this league that get very excited over names as opposed to what the actual production is. And again, it's not really just Globo Gym. I think it's in general.
Interesting.
Because there's a lot of guys that are very productive that can win you categories like singles, right? That nobody cares about. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Or Josh Reddick. Those kind of guys that they hit 300. They're going to hit a lot of singles, and you know.
He has mentioned in his text thread that he's going to make major changes to his roster. He does not like. I think he is starting to realize that.
Yeah, it's home run or nothing. That's what they do.
It's new baseball though. Three outcomes.
Well, you're
home run, strikeout, walk.
Yeah, but not every single player does that, and it's up to you as a GM to find the players that don't just hit home runs and strike out all the time, and they do exist. They do.
Where are they?
They're sitting on Ben's Champions bench. Sorry. Number 2. What? You put yourself down at number 2? Why'd you do that?
No way.
You didn't do that.
Number 1.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Still number 2.
Number 2 is very bad.
Despite an impressive tie.
Yeah, very impressive.
Yeah, very impressive.
Yeah.
Actually,
Super
I was
impressive.
actually disappointed with the way my weekend was. I figured I was going to lose.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Well, like I said, if I made a couple moves, you would have lost, but whatever. Yeah. And number 1, TV.
I'm very worried. I'm not beating people.
Oh,
I'm not
no.
blowing people out.
I'm
very worried.
What's your win total? You were looking for the all-time win total?
I believe I'm sitting at 107.
197. Right.
I'm sorry. Let me start that again. I'm sitting at 207.
Okay, 207.
0. O is the letter of the alphabet.
Yeah.
And I'm wrong again. I'm sitting at 204.
Oh, okay. How many do you need for the record again?
I thought it was 210.
And so you only need 6 wins this week?
Yes.
6 to tie, 7 to break the record.
Correct.
Okay. Well,
And I'm playing Alaska Glaciers, who hopefully isn't trying.
go Alaska Glaciers. Don't let him be the all-time winner of all time.
Well, that's clearly Ben's champions with all his... He doesn't have enough hands to hold all the flags that he's flying.
Yeah. I guess that's true, but you know what I mean. I mean, not the winningest regular season.
Thank you.
Although, actually, that award would probably go to Alaska Glaciers. He has the highest win percentage, doesn't he? Going into this year.
Career winning percentage, he
Yeah.
does have the highest. Well, he kind of put a dent in that one. Though.
That's true. This year it didn't work out for him. But...
It's okay. We're not mad at you.
No, we're not. So, I mean, in closing, yes, it was a very disappointing week. This video is probably rather boring as well.
It's a very disappointing video.
It is.
It just kind of took the wind out of us.
Yeah, it did. Hopefully next week we can actually analyze some playoff matchups. I don't really want to say too much now because it's all speculation. I want to make sure that we have the correct playoff matchups.
I will also go back and look at our bold predictions.
Okay.
And give an update on that.
All right, that sounds fun. All right. So I guess that's it. So we will see you next week with a lot more exciting
Good luck,
information.
League. May your last regular season matchups turn out very well for you. And commissioner's note, again, remember this Saturday is the last day for your 200 limit transactions. Sunday, every Sunday, starting next week, begins the new playoff 7 transaction limit.
Right.
As voted on by the league.
Yes, and that is that means Sunday at 3 a.m. Right?
3:01 a.m.
3 o'clock a.m. Not 3:01. Do that.
3:00 a.m.
Yes, 3 o'clock a.m. Anything after that counts as one of your 7 transactions for your playoffs. Now, people like us that have buys in the first week don't have to worry about that, but you guys do.
You fooled me there. I thought you were going to use lives. I thought you were going to say people that have lives don't have to worry about that.
All right, see you next week.